What's up, guys? Welcome back. Evan Aldo here. Hope you guys are doing well. I mean, a couple of things. So the first thing people have been talking about here before we get into like the, actual charts, extreme fear on this one, crypto fear and greed index. I'm almost not buying this because look, we're at the same. You're trying to tell me we're at the same exact level that we were at during the pandemic dump? Man, I'm almost not buying that. I mean, okay, it did get down to 6 here. It did get a little bit lower in June of 2022 with everything falling apart, Celsius and all that. But man, according to this, you should rally. I mean, you rallied here. It got really low in June 21. You rallied. You did end up going lower. If you're looking at halving years and post-halving years, this should be indicative of close to a bottom, you know what I mean? And that, well, close to a bottom still could mean 75K or, 72K even. But it probably would indicate that you wouldn't go that much farther down, if you get what I'm saying. Because, if you look here this is really with the level. It was a little bit lower in June of 22. You only came down another 12% from that June of 22 low, at least on the Coinbase chart that I'm looking at right now. So, if you were to come down, let's say you were to come down 11% more. That's actually interesting. Let's see where that would. It's exactly at that big huge place, 72K, 73K. Do we rally a little bit before we hit that? It's hard to say. I think if you're gonna hit, if you're gonna hit that point, you would probably that 72 or whatever. You'd probably hit it by the end of March. I would say within a month, most likely. And most likely, I don't think it's gonna be that crazy bad. I think we may hit that point. You may bounce earlier. I mean, like I've talked about a lot of these videos, the important thing that I want to show you guys, if we compare it to kind of, believe me, we had, I think, a 34 or 37% dump in the beginning of the post-halving year before this one, which would have been 2017. So I was 30% down there. If you argue, I think this one, the last one was 5% better than that one. So if you argue this one should be 5% better, that's your case. So this would be the case of less volatility over time. I hope you guys are following. 30. You had, I think, 35%, then 30%, then let's say 25% that we saw so far. So that would be the case that we're bottoming out right now. Now, I was watching Crypto Face's live stream earlier. His spiral lines are set up a tiny bit different. I think he's got a linear one that we're kind of bouncing off of. I could be wrong. I don't want to put words in nobody's mouth. But I think there was something he had and something some other people have had around 82K. I don't got nothing here, but it is a double bottom, as you can see right there for a potential bounce. The hourly looks pretty good, trying to long this up to 88. I think it could be a little bit risky, but I do think you'd have a good chance of winning that trade. So that's what I'm kind of looking at, ultimately right there. And like I was talking about in my video yesterday, ultimately in the 4-year cycle, just look at what we've done since the bottom. You have these drops, that drop, you had this one, kind of the next thing. This you could compare this maybe to here, even August 23, and then you're probably not going to get that insane type of return. You could. No, you're not getting up to 236. I highly doubt that. But maybe in a timeline, September, if you really 150 in September, maybe. Definitely possible. So that's what I'm kind of looking at here for Bitcoin. Ethereum, similar deal, I would say, holding up well against Bitcoin in the last week or two. Trying to maybe double bottom or maybe coming down to 2,000 here. If Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin goes down another 11%, where would this be? Maybe it holds up better in Bitcoin as it generally does in post-halving years. Maybe just down to that 2,000, which is not too much farther than where we are right now. That's kind of one viewpoint. Today, this is bearish, very bearish. It could have kind of already played out, or it could bring us down to God knows where. Maybe if you break down, it could get really ugly. Maybe. I don't think that's going to happen. I think, this general place around here, this pocket between 2,100 to 2,000 is pretty firm, especially following the 4-year cycle. But obviously, anything could happen. Another trigger wave in the works on your 2-week here, hoping for this type of situation to kind of bring us into, when would this be? August. Yeah, August, maybe, hopefully earlier even, but, at least a summer new all-time high, hitting this intersection right here in November, maybe 7,300, then maybe a little bit more into the end of this year or the next year, 8,000. I still think it's in the cards. I still think it's in the cards. ETH versus Bitcoin. We'll see what happens here. You know, I was hoping that we'd get a jump. We've done nothing against Bitcoin. We're just following it. I think regardless of what happens, this eventually will break upward. I don't think you're going to go much lower than that area. You absolutely can go to your lows of 2019. We'll see if that happens. This 2 week, I want this to look better. So maybe I'm being a little bit too optimistic on ETH, but we're printing that weekly, or we confirmed? Yeah, we confirmed that weekly. You know, that's why I was looking at this, you know, comparing it to some of these other, you know, weekly deeper waves. You know, all of them have been facades, giving us nothing, but maybe this one finally gives us something. You know, a lot of alts in 2017 started to do really well against Bitcoin at the end of February in the 4-year cycle. That's something to think about here. Cardano too, I wanted to look at that. You know, big point, really trying to hang on to that 60-cent area. I would assume if you break down from where we are, and I do think there's a good shot of a bull trap too, because it's like, yeah, they go long and then it just keeps rejecting, keeps going down, which it absolutely could happen. You know, this wick was just insane on that Binance chart right there. Back down to 50 cents right there. I want to look at, was that on every chart? Was Coinbase, did it wick down that much everywhere? Yeah, that was a damn bad. Yeah, maybe that area next, but not looking terrible on that 20 hour. You got the anchor wave right there. So yeah, S&P 500 kind of forming a reverse head and shoulder situation, which is interesting. I think if Bitcoin goes down to 70, low 70s, this probably will go back down to 574 by the end of the month. I know there's options expiring at some point in March. Maybe it bottoms around there. That's what happens sometimes. I'm not an expert on that, but maybe. You know, a lot of people, AVAX has been holding up pretty well, trying to hold these areas for some of these. So, you know, it's definitely possible. I think if you're going to go long, you know, it's probably, you got a good shot of winning a trade, you know, stop loss below your swing low and trying to long back up to this area, maybe more, you know what I mean? That's what I'd be looking at right here on this trigger wave. SUI, everybody's been talking about this. I mean, it's a popular coin. Don't think it would go much below $2.30, but it definitely can test that $1.97 if Bitcoin goes down to mid to low 70s. Absolutely might. You know, the real question here, has Bitcoin bottomed? Does this double bottom give us what we need here and bring us back up to 88 and then 92 and then so on and so forth for that, you know, typical recovery after post-halving year, you know, dump. I mean, if you look at times, like we were looking at this, I mean, you're at least going to get a little bit of a ride. Look at that June low. You shot up. You know, you did shoot up. You came down lower, but then you did shoot up. Same with pandemic. This was August of 2019 when it got that low. What happened in August of 2019? I hope this isn't boring you guys too much. I'm just very curious to see what happened in August of 2019 here. February. That was February. So, okay, August 2019. They got it right. Maybe it's like that. That's your main bear case, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if you don't count, they did get it right somewhat. You know, you fell off, and then I guess this would be probably the real bear case that some people probably think maybe back down to 60K in summer, and then, you know, then you start up again. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to find a follow recovery here, but definitely have to see. The other thing too, sorry if this is a little out of order going back to Bitcoin, bear div on that monthly. Maybe that's played out as this confirms, but it is a scary, scary sign. Hopefully it doesn't play out that bearishly, but it might. So yeah, but on the bright side for alts, probably should have talked about this earlier, but on the bright side for alts, your daily, your daily still printing a trigger wave, or confirmed a trigger wave. You're trying to hold this area on Bitcoin, others versus Bitcoin. So it's pretty good. Yeah, I kind of like that. Money flow is not the best there, but I kind of like this jump right here. I kind of like the potential hopium right there. So anyway, that's pretty much the main update I have for you guys right now. If you guys are interested in trading, check out BloFin. Check out BYDFI down below. Nightshade had a really good trade. I'll give you guys a little spoiler. Nightshade had a really good trade in here. You got a long scalp. There's a win, really high win rate. Excellent. He's been doing excellent. Don't want to jinx him here. Don't want to jinx him. Because his win rate's been excellent. K-Max is really good too. A lot of really good stuff here that they've been posting, especially if you're into Forex. I mean, I'm not the biggest Forex guy, but K-Max has a lot of good Forex stuff. So yeah, check that out if you guys are interested. And if you want one free month in Discord, if you sign up to Breakout, open a valuation account, sign up to BYDFI or BloFin, deposit at least $100 on either of those. Only with my link and then open support ticket with your email or your UID. We'll give you one free month in the Discord there. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the update. We'll see what happens in this market. Goodbye.